Up until now, whenever we changed our code and then wanted to see the effect of the code in the browser, we saved the code and then manually reloaded the browser. But there is a much better way. So instead, we can make the page reload automatically whenever we change our code in the editor. So let's now learn how. So in the real world, no professional developer reloads their browsers manually like we have been doing. So everyone uses some kind of tool to do that. So to make our life easier as we go through this course, we will now also install such a development tool, which is called Live Server. And to do that, we need to start by installing something called Node.js on our computer. So let's go to Node.js, or actually just Google it. And then it's probably going to be this first result here at nodejs.org. And Node.js is a way of running JavaScript outside of the browser, but also it's a way of running development tools just like the live server that we want to install now. So go here to Downloads, and then you can use the LTS version for whatever platform that you're using. So Windows, Mac, Linux. Just download whatever you need for your use case, then install it, and then come back to this video. Now, if for some reason you cannot do this, or if anything goes wrong, then don't worry. You can, of course, continue this course without using Live Server. So please don't get stuck on this video if you don't manage to install Live Server for some reason. Okay? Now, anyway, after you successfully installed Node.js, it will become available as a program in the so-called terminal. And let's use the VS Code built-in terminal. So VS Code has a terminal included, and to open it, we need to go to the menu bar and then New Terminal. Or we can also use this weird shortcut here, but I prefer to do it like this. So let's increase this a little bit. And then I will clear this terminal here by hitting Command or Control K. And that looks a little bit better. I can also increase this by hitting Command plus. And actually that increases the whole window. So that I don't want. So let's go back. But anyway, in case you're not familiar with the terminal, it is basically a way of giving a computer instructions. And we will learn more about the terminal later in the course. This is not the point to worry about the terminal. All I want you to do is to write node -v. Then hit return or enter, and then you should see some kind of number here. It doesn't matter what number, but as long as you see a number, it means that you successfully installed Node.js. So if you have this number here, then you can now write npm install live server -g. And in case you're on a Mac, you will probably need to sudo this command. So start the command with sudo and then npm install live server g. So again, it's not important that you understand what this does. Let me just in 10 seconds tell you that npm is the Node Package Manager, which is basically a program to download tools. Then here we say install, and then here we say that the tool we want to install is called live server, and -g means that it should be installed globally. And that will make the live server tool available everywhere on your computer. So if you're on a Mac, use sudo here before the command, but on Windows you don't need sudo. And it won't work even if you use sudo. Then hit enter, and if you're on a Mac, you now need to enter your password. And don't worry if you don't see anything there. That is on purpose. Just write it anyway, hit return, and then it should start doing something. So right now it is being installed, and I get some errors here, apparently, but I think they are not really important. Anyway, I already had live server installed anyway, and so these errors here, they should be no problem. So we can clear our console again by hitting Command or Control key, like this, And so that looks much better. And now all we need to do is to write live server and then hit return. So try that. And it worked. So it automatically opened up a tab in the browser. So probably in your predefined browser. And this browser tab is now connected to your current project folder. And so in the console here, you can see the folder, which is this one. So developer skills in this case. And so that's exactly the project folder that we are in right now. So whenever you run live server in some folder, that folder will then be opened in the browser. And whenever we open a folder in the browser, it will then open the index.html file by default. And that's why we always have an index.html file in any folder. Okay, so let's open up the console here. Then we get a small error, but as we reload the page, this error will disappear. Yeah, that's right. And so here, let's actually get rid of this. And here, let's log to the console the result of calc age, and then with some year, just so that we can now test this. So when I give it a save, watch what happens here on the right side in the browser. So I will not reload the browser, I will only hit Command S to save this file. And you see, it took like half a second, then the browser reloaded, and now we get the result here automatically. Also, you can see down here in the terminal that a change was detected, and so that's what triggered the reload. So any file that changes in this folder now will trigger a reload. So even if I change something in the HTML file, for example, if I save now, then see how it changed here as well right away. So let's put that back, close it, and actually we can even close this terminal. So if I close it and save it again, you see it reloaded again very quickly, and it's still working. So the terminal, it's still down there, it's just not visible. But we can always get it back by hitting New Terminal. And actually that's a new one, but then just click this menu here and go to the first one that we had, which says Node. Okay, and with this, we established a real-world web development environment or workflow. And so now you can really start to feel like a real JavaScript developer, not one of the kind that has to manually reload their browser. So I hope that you find this as cool as I do. But in any way, we are now finished setting up our browser and also our development workflow. So basically, this part here of the section, so the editor setup, and so now we're ready to go a little bit into developer skills, because that's also an area that's important to develop for you as a new developer. And so the next couple of videos will be how to learn and how to solve problems.